My name is Chris, the Gaming Librarian, and I'm here with a new episode of New Game Review, where, as you can see in the background, we are going to be talking about Mario Golf Super Rush. So, game just released this past Friday on June 25th, 2021, and so it's one of many Mario Golf games in the long lineage of Mario Golf games that date technically all the way back to the NES. But of course, as I go through my review, I will talk about my beginnings with the series and sort of the voyage that I've taken to get to this point in time, and why I am so unbelievably excited for this game and what it entails. So, in a sea of Mario-related sports titles, including tennis, soccer, baseball, basketball, and even Olympic Games, it has been Mario Golf titles in particular that have forever sort of captivated my attention, and I have found myself gravitating towards. And I've dabbled in all the other sports titles and absolutely love them. But Mario Golf, above the rest, is my constant mainstay and go-to. And so naturally, I was very, very excited when I heard that this game was being released. And in traditional sports fashion, I often find Mario sports titles tend to be June releases. So right in time for my birthday month, I get a new golf game. And so this is the latest golf game that we have gotten on Nintendo console. The last one that we got, and sort of the one that I really got into, was 2014's Mario Golf World. Date as far back as the N64 and GameCube days, including the Game Boy Color as well, which was one of my all-time favorites, and sort of I'll allude to throughout this review. But it was the 3DS one, probably just due to the portability factor, above all else, I really fell in love with. And so I really sunk my teeth into that one, got to know the mechanics, got to really know this series well. And what I have always enjoyed about the Mario Golf series in particular is the fact that it not only stays true to the form of the sport, so you have the technical ins and outs of golf, but it still manages to find that classic Nintendo charm that all the sports titles do, that make the title memorable, and it is an experience that's fun for friends and family. And this is definitely a game that anyone who's going to come over to the house and say, I'm not into golf or I'm not into video games, this is going to be one of those games that I instantly take out for them and show them right away for a number of reasons. And so in the weekend that I've had to play this game in, so I'm probably about 5 hours in so far, I can say with confidence that I've absolutely enjoyed every moment of it, and the magic that this game manages to capture of the Mario Golf series games of the past. And so if you have enjoyed any Mario Golf game in the past, for sure this is worth picking up on the Nintendo Switch. The pick up and go nature of the gameplay is refreshing. The motion controls of the Joy-Cons are remarkably accurate and really enjoyable. And the return of an adventure mode, thank the heavens, adventure mode has returned, is something that will definitely scratch the itch of those looking for a bit of an RPG like adventure and campaign mode to their sports games that makes the game last a little bit longer, so it's not just multiplayer centric, but at the end of the day also doesn't quite scratch the same itch and meet the same rich levels of storytelling that, believe it or not, the Game Boy Color version of Mario Golf really excelled at. And Camelot is the same studio behind both of those titles, so I'm hoping, as the future goes on with these sports titles, in particular Mario Golf, that some of the DLC will allow for that to pick up. So obviously I wouldn't be the gaming librarian if I didn't give a shout out to potential programming ideas that you could use and have programs that draw in families or youth in particular. I really think this game is a fun, interactive, yet silly and competitive game all at the same time and all in one bundle. And so it's kind of one that you take out if you have, a group of people who are bored of playing Mario Kart, bored of playing Super Smash Brothers, and they want something different, something new and refreshing, but may not traditionally be into sports games. This and definitely, other games like Mario Tennis, Aces, for example, are great ones to take out to say, hey, these are based around sports that but have really fun mechanics to them that make them silly and enjoyable, because it wouldn't be a Mario game without some sort of special power-up to each and every single character. And really, the motion controls are second to none of motion-controlled games that I've played. Things like ARMS, Mario Tennis Aces, 1-2 Switch, which I think really highlight the Nintendo Switch in particular. Mario Golf Super Rush is up there with those games in terms of, if you want something that's going to handle really well motion control wise, this is it. And really, golf, super simple. I shouldn't say that, but for a video game, super simple. You just take the Joy-Con and putt, and there you have it. Yes, there's some finagling with the sticks and buttons to get particular spins, but otherwise, at the end of the day, just like the tennis title, you're swinging one way this time and not back and forth to actually experience the game. So before I get too ahead of myself, I will stop talking and actually highlight the game itself. And so, as I said, I'm about 5 hours in. And so the game itself offers a variety of modes. So right off the bat, you can just play golf. And in this section, it's going to give you standard golf. It's going to give you speed and battle golf. So 2 modes added to Super Rush in particular as the selling point of the game. And absolute game changer. If you're going to have people who are going to find standard golf boring, and admittedly, Mario Golf does spice it up a bit. Speed golf, so as you can see from the description, you hit the ball, chase it down, and finish each hole as fast as you can. And each stroke that you have to take in getting the ball to the green and then into the hole adds 30 seconds to your time. So you're sort of battling against the clock and trying to get the best time compared to others. And then battle golf, where you have 9 holes. On one is a hole has a ball in it, it's now not viable. And so again, little race against the clock, but at the same time, you're running around like crazy. You're capturing those little hearts that give you stamina, and you are picking up power-ups along the way and using them to sort of oust your opponents. Are really fun and interactive ways of switching up what is traditionally deemed a boring sport, which never in a million years would I think it is. I've loved golf games for as long as time has existed. Well, my time. But speed golf, battle golf really mix it up and make it varied and interesting. And of course, you have your standard network play, so you can play online with up to 4 people, or using local wireless, so other Switch consoles around you, you can get up to 4 players. And of course, the one that I was the most excited for when I got this game was the Golf Adventure. So as you can see, it runs you through varied worlds, and you are playing as a Mii character, so you can either build one from scratch or take one that's pre-existing on your console. As you can see, I'm running my own character build. And so you run through this story campaign trying to build up your badge ranking. So I'm about halfway through the campaign at bronze badge. And as you can see, you level up, and as you level up, you can put stats into your character. But it gives you a good idea of what to expect. There's different climbs. And so to highlight some of the things, you can build up your own stats. So as I'm about halfway through, you're building up your character stats, looking at power, so how far you can drive the ball, stamina, so how much you can run before you get tired, speed, which is how fast you can run, control, which allows you to determine how straight your ball can go once you've hit it, and then spin, so allowing for varied degrees of spin to your ball, as well as how effective that spin is. And believe me, as you're going through the campaign, or if you're playing with more expert players or experienced players, knowing when to use top spin versus when to use backspin is a lifesaver. There's also a whole variety of clubs that you can use. And so you have your standard driver, for example, and then you have really fun, quirky ones. You know, I have the Super Mushroom driver on that generates top spin naturally. You have your green shell one, which allows you to skip the ball over water. And then you also have fun ones that like Ixnay, the effects of wind, interesting curve shots, depending on what your dominant hand is that you can set for your character. Of course, being a lefty, I have decided that my character is also going to be a left-handed oriented player. So, in terms of that, what I will do is I'll just do a sample of one of the levels that you can play in this game. And so I will just take us back to one of the beginning worlds. All right, thank you for dropping in, Diva Mechanics. It's nice to see you. Okay, and so I'll go back to the very first world that you start in. And so you get the colorful Mario world that you would expect. You have the ability to try on different costumes and outfits. And so going back into the menu, not only do you get to choose outfits, but as you can see, so the attire that I have on, attack attire reduces stamina burn during special dashes, whereas the shoes I have on reduces speed loss while you're in the rough. Add a little bit of twist to the game and really help supplement that RPG mechanic that you're going through. You can have your little adventure diary that you explore, and there is a lot of golf terminology and explanation of the controls for this game. So really great for beginners who are trying to get into golf but may not know how the sport works or how to play it. So I'm just going to double check. So we'll do the rookie course. And I'll just do a few holes to show you the ropes. We'll just do a practice round. And so, naturally, I'm playing with a Pro controller today. I just find it easier to use, though experimenting with the motion controls is just as fun. So you have a lot of mechanics at the beginning as this game opens up. So the parameters of finishing 3 holes at +5 or better. You have your wind direction, and it's telling you what to expect, as well as downhill slope. So as you're going through, you control the character and the camera using your top joystick. You set the charge, so the indicator bar with the 85 and the 169 on it shows you how many meters your drive is going to go, and how far the ball is essentially going to travel. So you press A to initiate that, and then depending on whether you want top spin or back spin, you either double tap the A when you have the power level that you want for top spin, or double tap, tap once for backspin, or double tap the B button for super backspin. And so for the most part, we have a pretty decent wind. So I'm gonna make sure that it's not going too far, and we're gonna give it a little bit double backspin. So as you can see, very colorful as you go along. Got on the fairway. And so because I'm playing on a practice course, I don't have to do the running mechanic necessarily, but in things like speed golf, battle golf, what happens is as soon as you hit the ball, you then automatically have to go and start running for that ball. But there's little hearts along the way that refill your stamina. There's coins that you can collect to give yourself a little bit of extra cash. So we'll just set up this shot. And of course I'm going to want backspin for this one. And I have a little bit of curve to my shot, as you can see from the power meter bar curving slightly. So I'll give myself a bit of backspin, and you'll notice the arrows this time around. So what I did was I pressed up on the joystick, and this determined the amount of curve that my shot has. The backspin, of course, gave me a nice shot. And so as you can see here, you have a grid system, which is a godsend for a game like this. So the arrows pointing down show that it is a downhill slope, as well as the red really show the downhill portions to the green itself. And we'll just finish with a simple putt.
Nice bird.
And so, pretty simple, gives you the shot that you need and what you're looking for. Now, you'll notice above my, or beneath my character name in the top left corner, you have a little flickering blue flame and my ability to use a power-up. So let us activate that right now. Of course, going Super Saiyan in this particular moment. Other players, you cannot see the effect, but if I were in a battle mode, my Mii character, their ability is that as that ball is supercharging its way along the course, it'll bump every other golf ball that is in its way out of the way. And so it varies depending on character. And so I will just quit out of this. It's giving you a sense of what the adventure mode entails. And I will just finish with one last point and a highlight of the game. Just got to back out, and that's going to be the characters that you have access to. So this one is really a lot of fun. So we'll do button controls, and so as you can see, you have a lot of configurations that you can play with. And so my favorite part about this is that you have such a wide array of characters. King Babam, Pauline, Charging Chuck are all new characters that you really haven't seen much in any of the Mario sports games. So it's nice to see the representation here in Mario Golf. And so that was mostly the last part that I wanted to highlight. Of course, if you do have any questions, please feel free, watch along. I'm sure I'll be playing this at several points throughout. You're always welcome to, if you go to twitch.tv/Chris the Gaming Librarian, and if you go under the Chris the Gaming Librarian profile, you'll see a link to my Discord for the channel, where I welcome you to post any questions that you may have about this game or any others that I've highlighted. But with hope of future DLC character releases, because they did a phenomenal job with Mario Tennis Aces of bringing in a wide array of characters. And why else would they have all that empty space at the bottom if not to fill it with character boxes? I'm hoping that we'll see a wide array. I personally want to see my boy Diddy Kong make their way in. And so my overall pros and cons for this game, starting with the pros, obviously the return of adventure mode, you can see that I'm super excited for, is a welcomed re-addition to the franchise, even if it's not as story or RPG mechanic rich as it has been in previous titles in the franchise. I really enjoy it, and it adds a little something, special to than Mario Tennis Aces when that came out in 2018. Personally, I find that the courses are engaging and the clubs are absolutely delightful, so it adds up variation to the game so that it's never just the same, green. It's never just the same experience that you're having. And so the character selection I thought is well thought out, and you get a diverse range of Mario characters that everyone will know. Speaking of characters, I also find their special abilities to be really engaging and fun. So as you can see, Toad, his special ability can blast balls away on impact. Charging Chuck charges. Rosalina turns balls into star bits on impact. My favorite is the freezes ground on impact. So if you're a person who every time you hit that ball, it's always rolls past a hole or rolls too far, i.e. I'm guilty as charged, Luigi is a fantastic pick for that. So they've done a good job of mixing up the power-ups that you get and the special abilities that you have. Speed Golf and Battle Golf, as I alluded to earlier, have absolutely become mainstays in my mind. If going forward, I think every Mario Golf title should have these modes in it, because it really changes up the game dynamic, and it's not just your stereotypical golf game. It makes it fun and engaging, and shows those who may be non-believers that golf can be a fun game, maybe just not in its traditional format. I will also highlight that these modes are fantastic for showing off the motion controls of the Joy-Cons and the Switch in general, and personally I think they are on par, if not better, than 2018's Mario Tennis Aces, which was the last sports game to come out by Nintendo on the Switch. Cons, I will admit there are a few. So there is a limited number of courses for the moment, and I put that in quotation marks. If you look at the E3 trailer for this game, and I strongly encourage you to, they have promised that there are intentions for future DLC courses to be released. I'm personally excited for the little sneak peek of the new Donk City from Super Mario Odyssey that they showed. But that being said, Nintendo has been really great about supporting their first-party title releases recently. Smash Brothers, for example, even Mario Tennis Aces and Animal Crossing have all gotten fantastic support, so I imagine it's only a matter of time before we start seeing that take place here. And again, if it's anything like the same, so just keep an eye open. The cross-country mode, referred to as XC, is an interesting addition to the game. So it's not just your traditional flat greens, but you have varying levels of downhill and uphill and cliff faces that you have to get up. However, it does not do a great job of explaining how to best overcome those obstacles. And so especially in adventure mode, it is one of the very first worlds that you enter into. And I found that by the time I was taught the mechanics in the adventure mode that I would use to overcome the cross-country courses, I only learned that after I'd made it through the cross-country world. So just something to keep in mind, that balancing and learning the tips and tricks of this game won't always necessarily come in the most fluid and sensible manner. Also, tutorial-wise, the game only explains some mechanics as you go along, whereas others that should have been taught earlier, you'll only learn much later on into the game. And then finally, in terms of online functionality, while I really enjoy it, I really wish that there were at least voice chat, especially as, some of my friends who I'm playing this game with are far away. They're not in the same room with me. And so a little bit of more online functionality would be a welcome addition, but again, nothing that I can really severely fault this game for. And so overall, I've really enjoyed my time with Mario Golf Super Rush, and coming off of the last Mario sports title in 2018, so Mario Tennis Aces, I think this is definitely a step in the right direction on the Switch, if not a mild progression overall for the series. And personally, as I said, with upcoming DLC planned, I think this game is absolutely one to keep in your radar. If you're not going to pick it up right away, it's definitely going to be something that you want to pick up in the future, whether it's for your own personal gaming library or your work library. If you're a librarian watching this, definitely worth adding to your collection. So thank you for spending time with me today to talk about Mario Golf Super Rush. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free, go to twitch.tv/Chris the Gaming Librarian, where I post videos and new game reviews all the time. Join the Discord channel if you want to ask more personalized questions, and I can address them in future episodes of my Let's Plays or new game reviews. Or even if librarians out there want an entire episode of Intro to Gaming Libraries dedicated to this. Has been Chris the Gaming Librarian talking to you about Mario Golf Super Rush, and I am signing out. Have a great night, everyone, and see you later.